Therefore, anyone wishing to conduct business will be asked to come to the microphone, provide their name, address, present their request or concerns, and answer any questions of the Planning Commission. Groups are requested to select a spokesperson to express the group's concerns because each side will only be allowed 10 minutes to speak. Plats, rezonings, revised master plans, street renamings require a public hearing, after which the Planning Commission will deliberate and render its decision. Development plans require a public hearing to provide the public an opportunity to express opinions. However, a vote by the Planning Commission shall not be taken. Planning Commission members with a personal or financial interest in any petitioner's request are required to recuse themselves. If a motion to deny a request is made, the reason must be given. Members of the Planning Commission are Leslie Stone, Ann Clemens, Frank Cook, Reggie Dunn, Buddy Hardwick, Reginald Hawkins, Cruz Reeves, James Reed, and myself, Garrett Smith. Members of the land use staff are Warren Adams, Tanya Ingram, Andrea Heathcock. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from last month?
Move to approve.
Is there a second? All those in favor? Are there any changes to the meeting?
Yes, sir. Item number 4, which is a development plan for Bailey Harris at 830 Walker Street, has been withdrawn. Item number 8, is a resign from Ashley Flowers on Ray Thornton and Payne Road. That item has been delayed indefinitely.
Thank you.
Item number 1, this petitioner is going to join us by WebEx. Old Hamble Solar, a public hearing for a development plan for a new power substation to be located on the north side of Old Hamble Road, approximately 1,000 feet northeast of Selma Highway in the M1 district. Just a moment. He's trying to get them. Yes. Item number 1, Old Hamble Solar, public hearing for a new power substation to be located on the north side of Hamble Road, 1,000 feet northeast of Selma Highway in the M1 district. Zoe? Charlene?
Cannot hear anything.
Let's move on.
Should we move on?
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
You don't need to hear it.
You may just want to ask if there's anybody here that,
Is there anybody here with any objections or concerns for item number 1?
I just want an explanation.
explanation.
Yeah.
It's a substation that's going to be part of a new solar facility.
Is that the same thing? There are some signs around town about more solar. Is that the same?
Different.
It's a different thing.
You can declare a public hearing.
Public hearing has been held.
Item number 2, Phil Green and Bostic Engineering, development plan for Sunskia of Montgomery, for a new building to be located at 222 Eastern Boulevard in the B3 district.
I'm Martin Blevin with Pilgrim and Bostic Engineering, Montgomery, Alabama, and I'm here to represent Sons Kia of Montgomery. They're planning on tearing down the existing Kia showroom and putting up a new showroom. Answer any questions you may have.
Any questions from the Planning Commission? Any questions from the audience? Public hearing's been held. Thank you.
Item number 3, Valvoline Instant Oil Change, public hearing for development plan for a remodel of an existing structure at 4131 Atlanta Highway in a B2 district. She is also supposed to be joining us virtually. Mike, do you have her? Yeah, Christie. But we can't hear her? Go ahead and ask if anybody's.
Are there any questions from the Planning Commission? Any questions from the audience? Public hearing's been held.
Thank you. Number 4 has been withdrawn. That's a DP at 830 Walker Street. Number 5, Cadre Engineering representing Coca-Cola Bottling Company, a public hearing for development plan for an addition to the building at 4919 Westport Boulevard in the M1 district.
My name's Lee Tharp, the representative from Cadre Engineering for the development. Just here to answer any questions.
Are there any questions from the Planning Commission? Any questions from the audience? A public hearing's been held.
Thank you.
Number 6, Graham Company representing Hyundai Mobis, public hearing for development plan for a new structure to be located on the east side of Mr. Young Road, approximately 200 feet south of Well Road in the M1 district.
I'm John Smith with CCI Engineering and Planning, 509 Hampton Drive, Birmingham, Alabama. Henry Graham sends his regrets. He's the developer on the project. His wife's firm was having its 50th anniversary and he had to go be arm candy, so I got sent. But if there's any questions about the project, I'd be happy to answer.
Any questions from the Planning Commission? Any questions from the audience? Public hearing's been held. Thank you.
Number 7, a rezoning for Norman and Gracie Irvin, request to rezone one parcel. It's located at 3620 Old Selma Road. He wants to go from an M3 to a R99S mobile home subdivision district.
Good.
Norman Lou, this is my wife's place. We reside at 3620 Old Selma Road here in Montgomery. And I'm trying to see about getting it rezoned in that section. And put me a mobile home. The home I'm in is old, and I think termites have got in there about an 8 year, with 8 year.
Pull his mic.
Can you pull that microphone down just a little bit, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And I'm leaning on to it, about seeing about getting me a mobile home, a double wide, and put in there, so I can live comfortably.
He said on. Yeah, he said on.
Are there any questions from the Planning Commission?
Yeah, so you, how long you think it's gonna be before you demolish that existing?
Well, like I
structure?
said, I'm waiting on the critical home repair folks to come in and look and see if any way they can help me with my floor.
But that definitely that other structure gonna be demolished though.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Is this a mobile home for you to live in?
Yes, sir.
You're not
Me and
gonna
my
rent
wife,
it out?
Sir?
You're not gonna rent it?
No.
Okay.
It's gonna be for me, my family, my wife, and my grandchildren to live in.
Any further questions from the Planning Commission? Any questions from the audience? Motion's in order.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Unanimous.
Thank you, sir.
Thank y'all so much.
Item number 8 has been delayed indefinitely. Let me read it one more time. Ashley Flowers requesting to rezone 3 lots at Ray Thornton and Payne Road from Ag 1 to a B3 district. That has been delayed indefinitely. Number 9, Larry E. Speaks and Associates representing Al Halil Recycling. Public hearing for development plan for expansion of an auto salvage yard, 4423 Northern Boulevard in an M3 district.
Stephen Speaks with Larry Speaks and Associates. The petitioner is proposing to expand the existing salvage yard on the Northern Boulevard into the 7-acre parcel to the west. Basically, it's going to be a gravel lot with a fence around it.
I'm sorry, it's going to be a what?
Gravel lot.
Are there any questions from the Planning Commission? Any questions from the audience? Motion's in order.
It's a DP.
Sorry, public hearing's been held. Thank you.
Number 10, Larry Speaks and Associates representing Progressive Real Estate, requesting rezone property on the south side of Atlanta Highway at 2810 Atlanta Highway from O1 to a B2 commercial district.
Stephen Speaks again. The petitioner, Progressive Real Estate, is proposing, this is an existing church building that is closed, and the current owner is proposing to use the facility for a daycare, and that is, the building will stay the same. The petitioner is asking to rezone the B2 for a daycare.
Is that going to be only, the only reason you wanted B2 is only for the daycare?
That is correct.
Would you mind qualifying it for that? Restricting it to only daycare, the B2 only the daycare?
That would be fine, yeah.
Is there any further questions from the Planning Commission? Any questions from the audience? Motion's in order.
Move to approve with the restriction as a daycare only.
Qualified.
B2, qualified.
Is there a second?
I second.
All those in favor?
Unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Number 12, Goodwin Mills Kaywood, representing Kershaw YMCA, a development plan for an addition to the structure at 2225 West Fairview Avenue in an M1 district.
Hey, good afternoon. I'm Max Vaughn with Goodwin Mills and Kaywood, and the Kershaw YMCA is doing a expansion to their facility for a multi-use addition, and be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Any questions from the Planning Commission? Any questions from the audience?
Somebody's coming up.
My name is John Evans. I'm a resident of the Airhead subdivision. I live at 5 Seminole Drive. It's the
This is
second
wrong
house
one.
on the left as you turn into Seminole off the Atlanta Highway.
Sir, I don't think we hadn't gotten to that one yet.
That's the
This is
last
about
item.
Kershaw YMCA. That'll be the last item we hear.
I'm sorry, I thought it was number 12.
No, not a problem.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Any other questions? Public hearing's been held. Thank you.
Number 12, Goodwin Mills and Kaywood, representing PM Crimson, requesting final approval of Montgomery Promenade Plat Number 1B on the west side of Eastern Boulevard in a B3 district.
This is a plat just to carve out a particular parcel for a restaurant, and pretty simple plat. Really just happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions from the Planning Commission?
No.
Any questions from the audience? Motion's in order.
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
8.
All those opposed?
Ms. Clemens, which way did you vote?
4.
Okay, unanimous.
Thank you.
Okay, last item, Goodwood Mills Kaywood, representing Catherine Reeves, trustee of the A.J. McElmore Jr. Land Interest Trust in Louder New Homes, requesting master plan approval and to rezone property containing 113 acres on the north side of Atlanta Highway between Seminole Drive, or west of Seminole Drive, and from R100 and Ag 2 to a PUD district.
So again, Max Bone, I'm representing Louder New Homes with this item on the agenda. And I just want to tell you that they're very excited to be presenting this rezoning to y'all tonight. And this will be just another development that will continue on the work they've been doing in the Montgomery area. So I do have a board. I'm glad everybody in the audience can see that. And the proposed development will include townhomes, 50-foot lots, 60-foot lots, 70-foot lots as shown. We've had several meetings with the surrounding neighborhoods and answered several questions and concerns that they've had. We've received comments from the planning department, and we've submitted responses to every one of those that we've seen. Hopefully everybody's had a chance to review those questions and comments. And we're really just happy to answer any questions that anybody has in regards to the proposed development. In addition to those comments, also believe that there's some representatives. Grace Pugh with Arrowhead is here to speak as well, and I'll be happy to invite her if she's willing to come and speak now about some of the conversations we've had with the neighborhood. If that's okay.
We don't have an updated version of that.
Good evening. I'm Grace Pugh. I am a commercial real estate agent. I work for Kaiser. I happen to live in Arrowhead, and I've been in that neighborhood for, I think, 6 years now. I will say Louder reached out to me after deciding to try and develop this property and asked me to help them identify those people and the neighborhoods that may have an interest in what they were going to do or proposing to do, and that they wanted to work with our neighborhood as well as surrounding neighborhoods to have input into what they were thinking about designing for this property. Obviously, it's taking a rezoning to do the work that they want to do. And after meeting with Louder, we got excited because we realized Arrowhead is an older neighborhood, that this property is not going to stay vacant property forever. And we were excited to see something be developed there that we thought was going to be appropriate and complementary to our existing neighborhood. Not only Arrowhead, but Town Lake, Sturbridge, Lake Forest, Middling Forest, Somerset. So I reached out to the East Montgomery Neighborhood Alliance and asked them to partner with us and meet with Louder so that we can all discuss, all the East Montgomery neighborhoods, how we thought this development might affect us as a group. And every concern that we had, Louder addressed it. They modified their plan. They agreed to put some buffer land between our existing neighborhood, the backyards, and their new homes so that the people that are currently living at those dead-end streets would not have someone back up directly to them. And we thought that was very thoughtful of them to give up that property to allow that to happen. We asked for no connectivity. We felt like because of the crime issues that we're having in Montgomery at this time, that to have just a one-way in and a one-way out of this new development would be a benefit to the people who are going to live in this community, and it would not allow people who mean harm to traverse in and out of our existing neighborhoods in an effort to elude police. And Louder was very kind to agree to do that. They like the idea of one way out and one way in, as do all of our neighborhoods. We looked at the property values of the type of homes they intend to build here, the townhouses, as well as the residential single dwelling units. We looked at the property values of Airhead and how they were trending. We understand the cost of construction right now is going to cause, the cost of these homes to be more. And we feel like that what they're going to develop is going to be helpful to us with our own home values, and we're excited about that. They've told us that the townhouses will be most likely brick, no vinyl, and probably use hardy board plank. We're excited about that. So we've talked about a lot of intricate minutia and details, and there's not anything that we see on this existing plan that we have any issue with whatsoever. Thank you.
Any questions from the Planning Commission?
Yes. She mentioned one way in, one way out. How's that? Could you show what she means by that?
Well, there's a little more to that. I'm sorry, thank you. The original plan, and that's not on the screen right now, actually shows, what's this?
Man, she could do it.
I counted like 5, 6, something.
Correct.
Like that. Yeah.
Because that's the plan that we submitted was multiple entrances. We're very sensitive to the neighborhood's concerns, as Grace mentioned. We're very sensitive to the emergency access vehicles and the connectivity that the planning department needs. We are certainly interested in trying to satisfy those concerns. And we've got the plan that we submitted, and we've also got an alternate plan that shows limited access. As you can see here, we have one single access to, I can't remember the name of the road right now, that is really primarily for access to the existing residents that's on the property now until such time the construction gets to that point where that is no longer needed. We do feel that access would be gated with a Knox box would be the ideal way, that then you could have that single access point. We also anticipate, though, there could be some emergency access requirements that need to be there, but we would like to satisfy the adjacent established neighborhood and their concerns, and that is what this plan is. So that's why you're counting different ones in what you see in front of you, and wanted to bring this to talk about it. I figured that comment would come up pretty quick, and it did with this plan that we have here. We're happy to try to work with the planning department and the emergency access vehicles and the neighborhood as best we can, but being very sensitive to the concerns of the established neighborhood that's surrounding the proposed development we have.
And my final question is the traffic issue. Are you going to have to do a traffic study? Do you plan on doing a traffic study or what?
We have conducted and completed a traffic study. We've produced that to the planning department, and I believe it addresses all the concerns that the traffic department had in terms of the need and the access point. The plan is to come out in the existing median crossing that's existing on Atlanta Highway. There'll be full right turn lanes and left turn lanes completed at the beginning of the project to address what's warranted. Those are warranted within the development, and they will be completed in the first phase.
How many phases will there be?
Typically, I can't answer the exact number of phases. Hopefully it'll be done quickly. It's anticipated to be about a 10-year turnaround, but it's hard to say. But it's typical to come out and build a couple different products out of the gate. It's typically Louder's plan, and it can vary. It'll be several phases. It's anticipated to be about a 10-year full build out. So somewhere around that time frame.
Gotcha.
I don't see Mr. Smith in tonight. I just wanted to hear his objection. Well, yeah, his objection to the proposed rezoning. If it's any different than what's already on the.
Do you know that, Tom?
Mr. Smith is off this week unless Max has talked to him.
So we learned that, I'm sorry, if I can, I will address it.
Go ahead.
So Mr. Smith did provide the comments, and that's when I started off talking about addressing some of those. Those are some of the things we responded. He is on vacation with his family. I don't know where he went, but of all people that deserve a vacation, he deserves one. And he was nice enough to take some time to speak with us, to speak with Louder. And his concerns from the development side were in regard to the townhomes themselves. There has been some maybe issues in the past for other townhome developments that have maybe had some age over time, and maybe maintenance of the roofs and maintenance of the facilities of connected buildings were some of his concerns. And I think he was very happy to hear the way that Louder plans to handle that is by having this mandatory HOA, and they'll be collecting funds, and they won't be specifically individually responsible for maintaining a roof. When you have an attached townhome, your roof is your neighbor's roof and your neighbor's roof in a lot of cases, and your walls are connected. And some of the drainage concerns over a long period of time, a leaking roof, it seems to be the primary concern. So he seemed very pleased with the way that Louder intended to plan for that. He mentioned that the original intent from the overall master plan the city had done had shown this as open space. That's when you read that his comment stated that the open space itself was not correct. It just usually allowed in areas that are, subject to flood-prone areas or environmental concerns, and he was indicating that this was not that, and that this is a potential use for that. And then there was, I believe that's it. Were there any specific questions, though, that I might be able to answer? Because it's unfortunate he couldn't be here tonight, but we were very happy that he took the time to speak with us while on vacation with his family. He was actually getting takeout at the time.
I just my only question was the difference between the having the townhouses versus the single-family homes.
Yes. That was his primary concern, was the after about 30 years or 50 years, like what's going to happen in terms of maintenance. And I think we were able to address him with the conditions we were setting up that will last for the duration of the homes, and will take care of his concerns.
His other concern was the typical townhome setup where you park at the rear and there are alleyways that are created. And it was my understanding when I talked to Robert and when I talked to Jimmy that they had addressed that there'll be front-loaded garages there, and there's not going to be that typical alleyway that you see in a lot of other developments. That was one of their concerns, that Louder had taken the time to explain and express that that's not what their intent is and not what's going to happen, and that Robert was satisfied with that change.
That's correct.
Okay. May I say something, and this is off a little bit, but I appreciate you meeting with them before you come down here and discussing it and talking about it and working everything out before you got here. Because a lot of times they get here and then have to go back and do that. So, as a group, I think we appreciate you getting with them and working everything out before you brought it to us.
Well, thank you for that. I think not only Louder, but Good Mills and Kaywood, we're from here. We like being here, and we're going to stay here. So we want to work with the community and the town and the city folks and everybody that's here tonight. So thank you for that. But we appreciate y'all too for spending y'all's time.
Is there any further questions from the Planning Commission? Any questions from the audience or concerns? Go ahead, sir.
I'm sorry I jumped up a while ago, but I'm having difficulty hearing you. My name is John Evans. I'm a homeowner at 5 Seminole Drive in Montgomery. And Seminole is on this plat up here. It's on the right-hand side at the very bottom of that is where Seminole Drive is. My house would back up to some townhouses that would be just behind my house. I found out about this with a letter from the city about 7 or 8 days ago. So I'm really kind of late to the party. But when I purchased my home many, many years ago, the area behind me was zoned as single-family residential. And that's what I bought, and that's what I hoped would be the use of that land. And I don't understand today why that has to change from single-family residential to all of these townhouses and of several different sizes of single-dwelling houses. I don't get that, except maybe to make money for the developer. But as a individual, I feel that this development, as nice as it is, I think it will devalue my particular property, and that's why I appreciate the opportunity to express my concerns about that as an individual and my individual checkbook. There have been meetings that the Airhead Association has had, I'm told tonight, that I could not attend. I can't get out a whole lot. My wife is immobile, and I try to stay home as much as I can, so I don't attend a lot of meetings. But there was no mailing from the association that I'm aware of telling about this. The first that I really remember knowing about this was when I got a letter from the city. So I don't know what I can ask of you except that I would like the property to stay single-family residential as it was zoned when I bought my property. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, sir, or maybe you can answer it. How many homes like yours that back up to the townhouses that are single family that have this situation?
Microphone.
Microphone, please.
The best I can tell you is to look at their diagram. If you'll look at that right there where the area is, that's single dwelling homes in the white area. And it's all the way down the side, all the way to the end of the development and back around. So I would probably 30 houses maybe along this area.
Thank you.
Any other questions that I might be able to answer? Well, thank you very much for listening to me.
Did you have any, out of those houses, did you have any, no, you, sir, yeah. Out of those houses that are surrounding that area, did you have any other people that feel the way he did? Now, after you had the meetings.
It came up in the meeting about pretty much the entire development, and one of the things that is being planned to try to address some of the houses that do back up to the neighborhood is surrounding the entire development. All the standard lots for the PUD were submitted, and dimensions for length and width and depth, and around all the surrounding, not just in the areas of the townhomes, those are being extended by an additional 25 feet. And the intent for that is to try to create an area where we will, try to save as many trees as possible to create that buffer to stay around the entire development. And again, it's a little bit more, it's not less, but it'll be a little bit more in some areas, but to just add a little bit extra. There's a lot of trees on the property. We're going to do a tree survey. We've got several areas within that we're going to try to save, but we're going to do the same thing on the exterior, just trying to do as best we can to save what we can. We like those, and we see the benefit to this development and the adjacent neighborhood, and that's our best attempt to try to satisfy some of the concerns in that area. But we do feel the townhomes are going to be a really nice product, and even looking at the potential of gating these townhomes and maybe doing private roads, and there's, try to do a high quality development so it will attract good home buyers that can benefit from that. I think there's a need for that in the community for the townhomes, and we think it'll be a nice addition to the area.
Any further questions from the Planning Commission?
Will the townhomes that are there, will there be enough buffer that they will not overlook into the backyards of the existing homeowners?
I mean, to be honest, a 25-foot buffer in the fall and wintertime when the leaves are down and they don't have some obstruction, but it won't be completely buffered off. It'll be just like a typical neighborhood. It'll have some, but I wouldn't consider it as an overlook. It's more of just the typical neighborhood scenario.
Well, we've had this come up before this planning commission a number of times, and that does concern me.
I don't want to sit here and tell you that, it's going to be completely invisible. I don't want to tell you that.
Okay, thank you.
Will the townhomes be on the 2 stories?
2 stories, yes, sir. We'll have garages as well, 2-car garages.
Anything?
The designer who's worked on these is out of Tampa, been working with Louder for, several decades. They've done numerous developments all over the country, and they did Somerset across the road as well, which I think is a nice development. And they do a very high quality product. I think everybody's gonna be very pleased with the style of architecture that they've done. He came and met with the neighborhoods and some of the things that Grace was talking about, and just kind of going back and forth on how to do that in a really nice way. So I feel like everybody's gonna be very pleased with the final product.
Anything further? Yes, sir.
I'm pretty sure these townhomes you said will be 2-story. Okay. They will very definitely look into my backyard from a 2-story townhouse right behind my house. They will be very definitely can look into my backyard. And I would want to talk about Somerset. Somerset's beautiful, but isn't Somerset all single dwelling houses? I believe it is also, and that's what I'm requesting, is that we stay with the single family residential as it was originally zoned. Thank you.
I believe a motion's in order.
Motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
5,
All those opposed?
2. What about the other 2?
We abstain.
Abstain? Okay. Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Meeting's adjourned.